Hi everyone, welcome to Water Tanks with stewiejp. I'm Stewie, and this is another replay sent to me from Drakothyl from ANZAF clan. And Drakothyl is driving the brand new premium German tank destroyer at tier 8, the Skorpion G. They seem to be everywhere at the moment on the Southeast Asian server, and very good reason for that, as you'll see in this replay. It's a very, very good looking tank. It looks awesome. It's got a very punchy gun, and it's got a little bit of speed, a bit of manoeuvrability, which I think you're going to see in this replay. Look at that, 521 damage for his first shot. You've got to be happy with that. Now, a little bit of a side note, T28 prototype, not happy with the matchmaking. I wonder why. 44% chance to win according to XVM. I hope that's not what he's talking about. I'll take that any day of the week. Now, it's an encounter mode game, and puts a critical hit into, that looks like, I think it was the IS-6. Drakothyl is also doing the mission Tank Destroyer number 4, ambush, destroy at least 4 enemy vehicles and remain unspotted at the time of their destruction. So you can be spotted during the game for this mission, but you can't be spotted when they die. So he shoots and kills the IS-6. Does his 6th sense go off? No, it doesn't. So there's one. He's picked up a kill. He's picked up 1,231 damage already with 3 shots. Now, it could be easy to say, oh look, he's sitting back sniping, but look at the enemy. Look at the enemy, where the enemy are. The enemy are all pushing up this hill, and Drak's team aren't really pushing that way, so he can't push that way either. He needs to sit back and wait for opportunistic shots. If he needs to move to the other side of the map, or if he needs to move anywhere in this tank, he can. It's quick. It's a quick tank destroyer. Now, I've got one of these tanks, but I haven't yet played it because I haven't bought any equipment. He blind shots and kills the Firefly. I think the Firefly might have been spotted, but he blind shots into a pretty well-known bush. Obviously, Drak wasn't spotted there, so there's 2 kills unspotted. This looks like the perfect kind of tank to do this mission in, especially if you're playing a little bit of a snipey support role. But what we've seen, 3 minutes into the game, he's picked up 1,200 damage. He's looking for a cheeky shot on that KV-85. I don't think he's going to... Oh, he'll get it if the KV-85 keeps moving. Unlucky. Looks like he might have tracked him or damaged some of his modules. Conwell B doing a good job spotting in the field. Even though there's not a great amount there, that's eyes on the cap in case the enemy try to cap. But it looks like the enemy are pushing the hill, which is not an unusual thing to do. Oh, the T25AT. Another unlucky bounce. I typically would have done some kind of module damage, but to bounce a tier 7 tank destroyer in a tier 8 tank destroyer, that'd be heartbreaking. Now you can see that Drak is using the camouflage net as well as binoculars. I don't know if I'd put binoculars on this tank because you're generally relying on your team to spot for you, but could be handy towards the end of the game, especially when if you might be sort of on your own at the end, get a little bit of vision. Now it looks like he might have a shot on that A43. Does he? He's waiting for the reload. Yes, that's 3 kills, and I don't think his 6th sense has gone off. Now he's waiting patiently for a shot on the St. Emil. It used to be called something else. That's the big German tank destroyer at tier 7 with the awesome gun depression. Can't remember what it used to be called, but it's a tank I actually like. A lot of people didn't used to like it, but I used to like playing this, the St. Emil or whatever it was called back when I had it. Now that was amazing. That VK, I believe he was spotted, but he was outside of Drak's render range. Drak's picked up his 4th kill. I reckon that's his mission completed right there. So the damage counter is saying 1,437 damage. However, he's had 2 blind shots that have killed tanks. I think one was he was firing into a well-known camping bush, and the other one, I think he was spotted, but he was outside of his draw range. So that's an awesome result. I reckon he's won that mission. What's the secondary condition? Win and survive. I'm on this exact same mission, but I haven't been playing too many Tank Destroyer games. I know Beached Asbro from ANZAF Clan. He's already got the Object 260 from the final lot of missions, and he was pretty excited when he picked that one up. Just putting a few more blind shots out into where the enemy were, which is sometimes it's not a bad idea. The Jag Panthers calling to cap. I don't know if that's the best. I don't know if that's the best idea to cap. It's a pretty open cap circle, and it would be easy to get visioned out. That looked like a shot on that T25 AT, but looks like it either RNG might not have been on Drak's side, or either that or he bounced. So he's going to move forward a little bit. The Cromwell B doing an awesome job staying alive out there, and let's just have a look at him. Is he? Oh, he's only on 22 hit points. He wants to be careful. The Crommy B. It's only a tier 6, and he's in a tier 8 game. He's a one shot for every tank on the enemy side, but he's providing vision to the cap circle, so that's probably not a bad thing. He's not, there's not many tanks on the enemy side that Crommy B can do too much damage to, especially with only 22 hit points. But Drak's having an awesome game. He's picked up 4 kills. He's picked up 1,437 damage that we've seen. Of course, there's been at least 2 blind shots that have hit because of those 2 kills. So he's probably comfortably over 2,000 damage already. The score's 9-8, so there's still plenty more hit points to be had on the enemy side. Plenty of time, 8 minutes to go. And it looks like the T20 and the Chi-Ri are pushing up to the top, and they've run into the enemy Skorpion G. That's not going to be good for those 2 tanks. They're both, even though the T20 can bounce a few shots, it's not going to bounce many shots from that Skorpion G anytime soon. But the AMX ELC has done a brilliant job in finding those enemy tanks. He finds the St. Emil, Storm Vietnam, what a name. And Drak picks up his 5th kill, Drakothyl. And then the Chi-Ri gets rid of that Skorpion G up the top. Very good move there. I really thought that Skorpion G would have taken out at least one of them, because they were both one-shots. But I wasn't too sure about how many hit points that enemy Skorpion G had. Now it's looking like a case of mopping up. Score's 11-8. One of the enemy tanks is an artillery, and there's the T25 who's still hanging on, but he's only a tier 7. I think they're pretty mobile though. I can't remember ever having one. Maybe it's a premium tank, I don't know. T343 and the FCM are both in a platoon. There's the FCM on 25 hit points. Of course, Drak is spotted now, but he's only taken 1 shot of damage. He's still got 900 hit points. One of the downsides, from what I read, the downsides for the Skorpion G is its camo rating is pretty bad, and it doesn't have a huge amount of hit points, but it is a tank destroyer, and it's comparable to the RHM Borsig tier 8. Looking at it, it looks quite similar. It looks like they're related or similar designs. And of course not much armor, but I think the hull is probably, you wouldn't want to rely on it too much to bounce shots, but I think the hull could probably bounce shots, but the turret certainly can't. It's of that breed. It's of that breed of German tank destroyers, like the RHM, the tier 9, and the old Waffle with the paper turret. Now I'd be going for the T34-3 first in this situation, because he's going to have the quicker reload. The artillery had just fired, but Drak's picked up his 7th kill, and now it's only the 343 left. And he's on 750 hit points. Now he's on 600 hit points. 14-10. You can see he's picked up well over 2,000 damage. And Drak picks up the 8th kill, giving him a Radley Walters medal, and absolutely carrying that game. As you can see on the post-game battle results, he's put in the comments of where he's uploaded on the website. completed TD 4.4, and snagged a Radley Walters medal for getting 8 kills, 8 or 9 kills. If you get 10 kills, it's a Pools medal, but a Radley Walters medal, 8 or 9 kills, high caliber, and of course the Top Gun. Only a first class mastery badge. That's probably because there have been so many people playing it lately. It's pretty hard to get an ace tanker in it, and obviously the ace tanker goes on the last 2 weeks of games. A lot of people have bought this tank. 3,749 damage. That's because the damage counter in game only shows damage that was spotted. So there was a couple of blind shots, and obviously we know 2 of them hit because 2 of them he got kills for early on in the game. 1,278 base experience, and another game from Drak with a very healthy bottom line profit with over 80,000 credits in a premium tank in a premium account. He fired 21 shots. Some of them were blind shots. That's why only 14 hit and 11 went through. There were those couple of shots on that T25 that bounced, which was pretty unlucky, and I think one of the tier 8 heavies as well. But all in all, an awesome game from Drakothyl from ANZAF clan. I hope that's how you say it. Thanks very much, Drak, for that replay. I look forward to doing many more. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and we'll see you all next time.